BassResinator here. I have some new koi fish molds, and I have this big tray mold that is going to become a pond for these, and I have previously made some little lily pads, lotus plants, and I'm going to put those in there. So I'm going to make a pond, but I got to start off by coloring these fishies. So I'm using these Resin chameleon powders, and I'm going to start off with magenta. On this big one, there were actually eye slots, and so I UV resined in some eyes, real fishing lure eyes, so that'll be kind of cool. Now this mold has a lot of detail. Those scales are really kind of cool looking. I am going to try and make the modeled look of some koi varieties. There are some that are just, almost a complete gold. Then there's some that are almost a complete white, and then there's some that are white, and then they got a little bit of black here and there, and black and red. Well, that's what this one's going to be, the black and red. Except I'm not going to use black. I'm going to use, are you ready for this? Galaxy, which is going to have a little bit of a bluish tint to it, because I'm going to pour white resin into these guys. So it may actually pick up a pinkish color. The eyes that I put in are a little bit of hazel with a little bit of, well, you'll see, they're already in place, so I'm not going to take them out. No. Not no. Give him a spot up here on his head. Now, there, I know, is undoubtedly a little too much, so I'm going to, and some did come out right on that little pad of paper. Okay, so there's that one. One of them, now he's going to be a goldfish. See, this is the shape of the ones that we were able to get for a year or two that I know. But this one is a smaller one. That one is bigger, and that's one of the reasons why I went with these, because you go to a pond where you have koi, and there are some really big ones, and there are some smaller ones. So that was good. I just bumped my little brush right into the side. This one's going to be Galaxy and Gold. How about that? I'll make them somewhat symmetrical. Or try to, as far as the color is concerned. I'm wondering if I should try and go down into that dorsal fin, the one that runs along the back. Because if I get too much powder down in there, not a good thing. Okay, so this guy's going to have a gold head, galaxy body, let me try going down into that. My fear is I'll get too much down in there and then it'll catch bubble. I don't want a bubble down there. Don't want any trouble with bubbles. No. This is a really deep fish right here. Just a touch of color on those fins. I'm going to do a little bit of gold on his fin, this one's fins. On his pectorals. I don't know why, but I have a song in my head. It's called an earworm. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. Boom, boom, boom. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. Dum, dum, dum. I know. Okay, enough with, well, no, I'm going to do the dorsal fin on this guy, because this guy's going to be completely gold. This is going to be my Midas fish. And I'm just going to use the regular brush that comes with the chameleon powders. And just do a light dusting. this is gold. There's gold in them dark scales. Don't know nothing about no hills. I actually have a much better vocabulary than that, but I just am adopting the... I'm keeping my character. Some people say I am a character. Okay, so now tap these guys out. Yeah, there's a little bit too much gold there. Tap that one. Okay. Whee! Pretty, pretty, pretty. Now to put away okily dokily. Now I gotta mix up some resin. And we'll get after this. Before I add the resin, I'm going to use a little bit of Tropical Glitz Jamaican Groove. This is going to be the sandy area, but I'm not going to use sand. But I am going to use a little bit of this glitter stuff here. Put this down first, and then I'm going to go over the top of that with a Let's Resin chestnut. So the soil underneath is going to be kind of goldish brown. So when you see the fish floating above them, above it, you'll be able to see them a lot better. And I want to try and kind of burnish this onto the mold so that it doesn't go floating. Well, actually, if it floats, that's okay, but I don't want it going down the sides. Tropical Glitz makes some amazing glitters. So if you have the want or need of some glitter that come in really good sized packages, go for it. Okay. The chestnut is in this Let's Resin 60 pack. Bronze chestnut right next to the bronze. And of course, I have not opened it. Using the toothpick to go around and get that foil seal off. Sealed. Mr. Watkins, you're being crazy again. student sound. That is a pretty color there, huh? Going over the top of that gold, Jamaican gold. And if you want to make a joke, Jamaican be crazy with all that gold. I know, I know, I know, I know. Then after I do this, then I'm going to mix up the resin. And I'm going to add Let's Resin dye, it's not the sky blue, not the sapphire blue, but the peacock blue or something like that. I don't have it in front of me, that's why I'm just guessing. So that color is, I don't know if you've ever seen where koi fish live. Koi fish are related to carp, and carp are kind of a messy fish. Goldfish are kind of messy. If you have ever had goldfish, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't have a filtration system, there's an odor that comes out of there. So I don't want this beautiful blue, clear crystal water, because this is going to try and resemble natural. And that brush stays all that pretty chestnut. Man, that is a pretty color. Now this is one color when you brush it on like I just did, but if you mix it into the resin, wow. You know what? I turned that light on and that made just a little bit too much glare. There it is. Okay, now I'm gonna mix up the resin. I'll get back to you shortly. Resin is mixed up, and I did use this peacock blue, but I need to show you I am not real happy with this epoxy. Oop, put some dog hair in there. It's, well, can't see it on that one. I purchased it brand new. It comes in, it's yellow. Wonderful. So the yellow with that peacock blue makes the resin green, which actually fits with that type of thing. And I also have some mixed up, and I put a bunch of white in there, and that's for these fishies. Let me pour them. No, I'm going to pour them second, because I want to pour a little bit of this in and then squeeze around the, move the fish out of the way for just a bit. This is 465 grams of resin that I have mixed up, because this mold holds quite a bit. I want to make sure there's no, let me squeeze this around the bottom. Because it's hard to get a tool down in there, so it's easier just to squeeze and release those bubbles. Release. Release. I mixed this up and then I let it set for about 7 or 8 minutes, so most of the bubbles release. There might be a few micro bubbles, but hopefully they will come up. You know, I'm seeing one right now. I'm thinking it's a bubble. No, that was something underneath the mat, on the mat, shining up through. That's crazy, huh? Okay, back to pouring. This is a deep pour resin that I have not had much success with. It's supposed to be good for 5 centimeters, which is 2 inches. And every time I try and pour around 5 centimeters, it flash cures. This is not anywhere near 5 centimeters. Hopefully this doesn't flash cure, but look at that. Did I figure this out exactly what? Man, Don't have to worry about finding another mold to put that in. I'll go around with a silicone tool in just a bit to possibly dislodge any micro bubbles on the edge. Is either I'm seeing micro bubbles or that is some of that glitter that's coming loose. But me moving real fast, I'm stirring up bubbles. Okay, now for the poisson, the little fishies. And if I get just that bubble, and that bubble, and that bubble. Oh, there's some bubbles right here. Those probably came up from the mica powder that I put in there. Okay. Now I gotta make sure this gets down into, get this, down into that dorsal fin. There's that, and that one, and I'll squeeze it. And I'll have to wipe the edge, because when you use one of these cups and it's a little too full, it has a tendency to run down the edge of the cup. Really annoying. You know what? I have a dotting tool right here that I can do this. I loosened up a bubble right there. On this one. And you eyes better stay in place. Right down the edge of that mold. Now this one right here is about the size of the other koi fish molds that are out there, but his tail is deeper. And that was one of the things I never liked about those other ones, is the tails were so thin when you pull them out, you almost break them. Okay, looks like I'm going to have to find some other molds, because I mixed up too much of this white. Okay, well, for all practical purposes, we wait until tomorrow. It's nighttime, so see you in the morning. In the morning, in the evening, and we got fun. Dum, 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 dum. Okay, we'll see you. These all cured up. Notice I had enough resin left over to make a couple little scallop shell dishes. Cool, huh? I can do some artwork on those. I sort of cheated. I pulled away on this to see if this was cured, and it is. I did not open it all the way up, so we'll see. Whoa, that's a tall, skinny one. Yeah, that's the gold one. All the powders came out like they were supposed to, and now the shape that we're all used to. If you have they sell these little koi fish, and they're always in the same direction. I don't know if koi fish always swim in one direction where they turn to the left. Oh, look at that, the gold. Yeah, that's pretty. That gold, along with the gold and galaxy. Now, I remember I told you the galaxy was going to end up looking kind of pink, and right next to that gold, it matches really, really closely. I guess those are eye spots, but they're awfully narrow, so I didn't want to stick eyes on and have it not be. Now this is the big one, the one that I put eyes in. Let's see if they stayed where they're supposed to. And this one's got a lot of scale texture. Oh, got a little bit overpour right here. Get it while it's just out, and those overpours just peel off real easily. Now there's another little bit right there. Okay. Oh yeah. I may do something with that moth. Felt a little sticky. Let me stick him under the lamp over there. Make sure it wasn't the UV resin. And I will clean up these molds where the overpours happened. Just push down with some tape, and away the stuff goes. Assuming the tape is not real dirty, it'll pull it off. But if you've already gone over the edges and gotten some dirt or dust, not dirt, okay, those molds are cleaned up, and frustrating as all get out, this flashed. I could see around the edge. Well, it was trying to. I don't know what it is with that resin, but when I bought it, it was on big time sale, and I think the reason is that it was bad. Oh, that light doesn't work now. Don't know why. Don't know why. Okay. Do this. Pretty eyes. But I wanted to do his lips. I'll give him comb marker, and this is the, I think it's the bronze. Where does it say it? It should say bronze. Anyway, it's not gold and it's not silver. It's a darker color, so. Yeah, got some lips, mouth wide open, ready to eat, just like fish do. Now, for the unmolding of that tray, we'll see what we've got. Let me put these guys over to the side. There's lots of little tiny bubbles that happen whenever there's a flash cure on the sides. But with that glittery stuff, can't tell if it's bubbles or not. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I can see the bubbles now. All around the edges here. And right there. Yep. Senor Flash showed up. Unwelcomed. But you know, when I put stuff over the top, hopefully we'll hide. I was thinking about this last night, and I actually have another little fish that I made before, gold. I need to do his eyes a different color. And I have a green one. Put this guy down on that end. This guy over, whoop, over here. Yeah. And that big guy right in the middle. Actually, both of these guys can go to eat something down on this side. Well, you know what? I got those guys both going the same way. Here we go. So how full do I need to get that? Oh, that looks... Okay, let me get these guys' eyes colored. If nothing else, just a little dot on there. Okay, that one, and then this guy. And I was thinking about this, and I thought, how in the world, because I'm afraid if I start putting a bunch of resin in here, these guys are going to float. UV resin to the rescue. So I get out my UV resin for bonding, and just put a little right here. And a little right here. And then I'll come at it from the side with the light. Don't need a lot, but this will help me have a placeholder for them. Okay, can put that away. And there was a big old bubble on that one. There, gone, gone. Because I don't want to have a bubble still present, as if I don't have enough bubbles. And then cure them, and then that bubble be hanging out over the edge. That would not be good. So, and hopefully that, yes, that does. It comes out a little bit on that side. And I can see a little bit on that one. And there's coming out. So when it cures, it'll hold it in place. And I've got a little bit of... There, got it off. Yeah, good. So, just come at it. And then I want to show you what I was looking at. Looking at it from the side. And I was like, oh, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, that guy's not moving. So I've been out working on my flowers and stuff. I got really dry hands and they're getting torn up. Some of those plants, man, when they go to seed and then the stalk dies or dries out, they'll rip you a new one. Okay. These are all holding still. That's very goodly. I was over here that I could see it. Okay, now to show you what I was looking at. Can you see those fishy in there? Kind of cool. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm back. This is cured up enough to where I can set in the water, or the lily pads and the water lily. I have one flower that I made a while back. The one I told you about, you know, the one from Resin. I think that's a little big for this. So we'll have to save that for something else. Anyway, I mixed up some more resin, and I got a little surprise over here to my left. Now there's a little bit of the Aurora powder in this as well, just because I want it to have that watery luminescence. And if that piece of wood stays up, it's totally okay. Wood floats sometimes, right? Most times. I just want to try and get these dorsal fins under the water. There. These guys are now completely submerged. Submerged. Yep. Now. And now it's starting to look like a pond where you can tell the fish are there, but you can't really tell everything about them. Okay, now I have 3 different colors of these, different shades of green. Oh, almost floats. I think since that guy's almost, if you look at it from the side, you can see him. But over the top, it's really hard to see him, so I'm going to put the water lily down here. Oh, he's sitting, he's resting on that fin. Huh. How finny. There we go. And I can move these things around as I see fit. That big old green one over here. I guess I touched the resin with my fingers without even realizing it. Oh, it's when I was messing with that flower. You know what? Get away from that guy's fin, because it's holding you up weirdly. Okay, we'll pull you this way. Oh, the tail also sticks up a little bit. And this way, you know there's fish down there. Yeah. I want this to go a little bit more this way so I can see that one's eyes. And who knows if it'll stay here? Because you know when resin starts curing, it starts pulling things in. Now, I don't know if you've been around. Ponds here in the United States have a tendency to get this algae stuff on the top. And it's a bunch of little tiny things, but if you look at it from a distance, it's just coated with green. But if you look at it real closer, little tiny bits of algae. So and we call it frog spit. I don't know what other places call it. I know it's not really frog spit, but that's what we've always called it. So I have a little bit of green here, and I'm just going to put a little touch. Oh, it's not going off like it's supposed to. I was hoping it would come off like a little dot of green. There we go. This is the frog spit. And I just mixed in sage color mica powder. And this is going over the top of where that funny looking UV resin thing happened with the driftwood there. Oh, it's spreading out, but that's okay, you know, because that's what these little things actually look like. That's why I'm using this tool here to give me a uniform kind of dot. Not too big, not too small. The Lord is maker of them all. Now what I have done is it has left a lip of about 1/8 of an inch. But that's okay. Okay, now just going to let this cure up, and I will right here, let them cure up, and then it's done. Yeah. Maria Vasi Spring. That's a song called the Wasser Lily. And that's right there. Yeah, I did that song many years ago. Many moons ago in a far off place. Oh, that's doing some funky stuff. Those little things, look at them. They look like they look like I don't know if you've ever seen when mosquito larvae start happening, they have a little thing up on the top, and then they have their bodies hanging up. That's what those look like. Well, you know, we'll call it mosquito larvae then. Okay, cool. I have some resin left over. I may make a small coaster with some green. Yep. Maybe I'll make a bloom with it. Yeah. We'll try that. But this is now going under the dust cover. We'll see you when this all cures up. This is all cured up, and I'm filming out here in the kitchen because I got something else going on the workshop table. I ended up throwing a couple like this extra lily pad, but it was a very transparent purple, and it almost disappears. You can tell there's something there, but not. Some of these lily pads, I tried to follow the pattern of nature where they're not always up on the surface. Like this one's up on the surface. This one's on the surface. The others are underneath just a little ways. That one is down further, and I'll show you what I mean in just a bit. Oh, this one's on the surface as well. Lily pads or lotus flowers, you know, they at night the flower curls up and goes back under the water, and sometimes the pads themselves do as well. So that's what I was trying to envision with this. And you can see that aurora powder in there, giving it a little bit of glisten. And I got my... So I tried to get, and you can definitely see the 3D effect where the fish is hiding under the lily pads. And you've got to see this. This is hilarious. Well, first off, there's that frog spit stuff. There's a fish hiding under this lily pad. You can see his eyes. But he is, when I put him in there, he was a very a transparent but greenish blue fish. Well, now he looks like a ghost. You can see right through him. All you see is his eyes. I mean, you can sort of see the outline of the fish, but not really. But that's kind of cool. And I put eyes on all of them, or drew them on. This one, the ones that I mounted with UV resin. And there's that leaf dying down at the bottom, and the twigs. Now there you can see that lily pad is under the water a little ways. And that one too. There's another fish. And the rock. I'm gonna turn it around. And this fish, if you look at it from this side, you can't see his head, but if you look over here, you can. He's trying to hide from you. River rock right there. And there's the driftwood. And that frog spit right there. Now there's that other fish. See, you can sort of see the color at this angle, but looking up over the top, you can't see him. He's hiding. So yeah, I'm really pleased with this piece of art, and we still have a little bit of a lip. So if you wanted to put something on here, you could, and it wouldn't go rolling off. But you do have some of these lily pads that are sticking up a little bit, and a piece of the driftwood. Sorry about my finger getting it out of focus. That one's, but yeah, my koi pond. I'll take a couple pictures outside under the sun so I don't have this glare of those lights right there. See what this looks like out there. Okay, coolness.